highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows, the good, the bad, and the beautiful.
Shuffle up and deal.
It's been happening all season on the World Poker Tour. Nowhere are the stakes higher, the action hotter, and the competition more furious.
A 7 comes off, 1 to go, it's a 4, it is over.
From coast to coast and around the world, we've traveled the roads, and they all lead to the upcoming $3 million World Poker Tour Championship.
He has got it. It come 10-10 jack.
3 of a card with an ace. It is a miracle draw. You cannot believe it. Neither can the crowd.
Join us for this special edition of the World Poker Tour as we highlight the season's events and turn a bold eye to the Tournament of Champions. This is the World Poker Tour, Road to the Championship.
Hello everyone, I'm Mike Sexton.
And I'm Vince Van Patten. Welcome to a special edition of the World Poker Tour.
This past year, the World Poker Tour has traveled the globe, hosting the best poker tournaments with the highest caliber players and had some $12 million in payouts.
We have logged over 40,000 miles on the road to the championships, bringing you the best of poker to television. And it all comes down to 2 things, Mike.
That's the endless fascination with the game and the huge stacks of money.
The game is No Limit Hold'em, the Cadillac of poker. It's a game that takes a minute to learn and a lifetime to master. To start, each player is dealt 2 cards face down. Then, 5 community cards, cards everyone can play, are placed face up on the table. Each player combines their 2 hidden down cards with the community cards to make their best 5-card poker hand.
And betting is really what this game is all about. Let me explain. You get your first 2 cards, you make a bet. Then the dealer puts the first 3 community cards on the table. In poker, we call this the flop. They bet again. Then the dealer puts the 4th community card on the table. This is called the turn card. Once again, big round of betting. Then the last card. We call this the river. It's turned up on the table. They make a big last round of betting. Turn your cards over, you see who wins.
The road to the World Poker Tour Championship is paved with the green stuff, and the stakes will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 million.
Now, that's my kind of neighborhood. All right, the game is set, the stakes are high, the players are ready, and the perfect place to launch the World Poker Tour is in the gambling capital of the world.
First stop on the road to the World Poker Tour Championship, Las Vegas, Nevada, where money is king and poker its mistress. And there's no better place to kick off the inaugural event than the breathtaking Bellagio Hotel, with the fountains flowing outside and the cash flowing like water inside. With over $1,400,000 at stake, 146 poker players showed up, but only one would remain standing when the desert dust cleared. This very first World Poker Tour final table included a poker champ, a Swiss businessman, an ex-pool shark, a 20-year poker veteran, a young hotshot, and a wild man. Everyone was afraid of the unpredictable Scotty Nguyen, and the rest of the table united against the gutsy, tenacious player, circling him like a pack of wolves looking for a kill.
There's a lot of money in this pot. For Scotty, this is the tournament. If he calls this pot, he's virtually out of this tournament. Scotty Nguyen is drawing dead.
Scotty Nguyen becomes our 6th place finisher.
No question he's disappointed in 6th place. And you can bet that all these guys are thrilled that the guy with the most experience is out of this event.
With Scotty out of the picture, the championship is up for grabs, and it's Danish sensation Gus Hansen, the man with ice water in his veins, who grabs first.
I have a very aggressive style. I'm not gonna sit down and make a plan up to the final table. I mean, some guys are likely to call me and some guys are scared. I like to beat the other guy.
Now, Gus Hansen, who's flopped the top 2 pair here, is certainly gonna play this pot. Now look at Bigler on the other hand. We know Bigler's flopped 2 pair. He's watching this action intently because he knows he's going to play this hand too. Gus just calls. Bigler's going to make a play here. There's no way that he can throw this hand away.
Gus, the little Marlon Brando there, he's just playing. It's so cool. Look at him.
Now this is an amazing hand here for Chris Bigler. Getting his chips is like pulling hen's teeth. And all of a sudden in the big blind, he's got trap with a hand. I don't see how he's going to get away from it. Here he goes, look.
All in.
He's moved all in over the top of the raise and the caller.
I call. John Hennigan calls.
Whoa.
That's kind of surprising.
Look at this. John Hennigan's calling. It's about $250,000. And now look at Gus. Gus rocks back in his chair. $200,000 raise by Bigler. Hennigan calls him.
Up to Gus.
And look at Gus. He keeps glancing over.
I'm rolling.
He goes all in. He's moved over the top of both of them. And now Hennigan, with his queen nine, all of a sudden it's shrunk up to oblivion. He's mucked his hand.
Turn him up, ladies and gentlemen.
And look at this hand. Let's look at Bigler's face. He's not going to like this.
Gus has 9-7. Flops top 2 pair. Chris has 7 floor, has bottom 2 pair.
He's got to catch a 4 to stay alive in this tournament. He needs a 4. A deuce comes off. He's dead to a 2-outer, or he's going to be our 5th place finisher.
Cards are 6.
Chris Bigler comes off a 5th place finisher.
Despite being on a short stack, Freddie Deeb now turns on Gus Hansen, and it's all looking good for Deeb.
Look at Gus Hansen here. He's really got a tough call. But I promise you, when you're sitting in that seat, looking at a $250,000 staring you in the face, your hand don't look too good.
I just can't believe the courage of Kasim to re-raise. It raises what he...
Wait a minute, Kasim's got a lot of heart. I told you if he's got chips, he's a player.
And he calls.
And he's calling.
Kasim says good call. He shows a queen.
He says, you win, but look how Deeb shoots his eyes over there to see what he's got. He's very curious as to what he's got, and he's stunned right now. I mean, I'm telling you, he is stunned looking at that hand.
Now, a desperate Deeb is caught in a sudden death race with Hansen.
Well, it's ace-king against queen-10. And the flop comes ace-queen-queen.
Tremendous for Gus.
Gus has flopped 3 queens. Freddie Deeb needs an ace. The jack comes off on the turn. Doesn't matter. No. Deeb needs an ace to stay alive in this tournament. A deuce comes off. Freddie Deeb has been outdrawn. He's out of this tournament in 3rd place.
And then there were 2, with the winner walking away with the very first World Poker Tour Championship.
The money's out there. The cash is big. But the truth is, money comes and goes. These guys want to win that title, that trophy, that spot in poker history.
After 5 grueling days of sizing up his opponents, Gus Hansen goes for the throat right off the bat.
I'm all in.
Gus re-raises all in 1 second. He didn't wait 1 moment. He just moved all in quickly. And now Yuanda has got to figure out, is he bluffing me, putting the move back on the top of me? Now, at this stage, Yuanda still has well over $800,000 left. So he's got plenty of chips to play the tournament if he folds this hand. But if he calls and loses, he's out of the tournament.
I call.
Looks like he's going for it.
John, you want to call. Goes all in.
Look at that look on Yuanda. Oh, no. Powerful blow to the stomach for Yuanda.
John knows he's overplayed this hand now. He's got ace-jack. He's up against 2 kings. Gus is about a 70% favorite to win this pot. He flops the top set. It comes king 10-4.
Gus way in front.
But now Yuanda can catch a queen to win this pot.
That's true. An inside straight draw.
He's got 4 cards to catch to win this pot. 5 comes off. He needs a queen. The river is a 7.
Not gonna do it.
Gus Hansen has won this tournament.
It was the first time Gus Hansen earned a seat at the final table, and he made the most of it. The World Poker Tour would be hearing more from the Great Dane. Later, the bad blunders and poorest plays of the year. We'll count them down to the World Poker Tour's biggest bust. Who will be number 1? And next, Demon Tactics in the City of Angels. Which one of these players is the wolf in sheep's clothing? Stay tuned. There's $1 million and a seat at the World Poker Tour Championship on the line.
Sheila, it's to you.
Does anyone like a Danish?
AbsolutePoker.com. You in?
After the World Poker Tour's fantastic start at Bellagio, it was hard to believe that the competition could get any fiercer. Then we pulled into Tinseltown, where a man on a kamikaze mission ran smack dab into a mild-mannered wolf in sheep's clothing.
Next stop on the road to the championship is Los Angeles. Poker was legalized in California when it was deemed not a game of chance, but skill. And the premier place to show your skill in the City of Angels is the fabulous Bicycle Casino. 134 players started the tournament, and one will walk away with $250,000.
Now, these are the two biggest gamblers at the table, for sure. And you're going to see them clash, I think, sometime.
Mark Safe, the prosecuting attorney out of Los Angeles, is going to have his hands full against ex-construction worker Han Lee.
Well, here we go. Mark Safe has a pair of fives, a speed limit.
Got a big hand? Got a pair?
Just trying to get him to talk.
No pair? Sounds like no pair.
What started as a friendly game of poker has turned into a vicious grudge match. There's no love lost between these two, and they're out for blood.
There you go.
Now, Han Lee, it's only going to cost him another $25,000 to call, and there's about $85,000 out there.
Call.
Here we go. We got the 2 fives against the King 10. And the flop comes Jack 9 deuce. Now this gives Han Lee a straight draw.
Inside straight draw. King
along with the
Han
King
Lee.
with 10, and the King comes up. Look at Mark. He's got outdrawn again.
Oh!
And the 10 comes up. He got hit twice.
He didn't need it, but wow. Big outdraw for Han Lee.
And Safe is out. Throughout this game, Chris Karagulian, who won the first pot of the day, has been quietly biding his time, but even he must be wondering how to take down the unstoppable Han Lee. But Chris gets a stay of execution when Han sets his sights on Stan Goldstein.
Stan thinks he has the best hand. He's putting them all in there. He's tired of Han Lee just mowing down the game.
The heat's on Han Lee now.
Now, Han Lee smiles with us, but he's not smiling much because it's going to cost him another $40,000 to call.
I'll call you.
Well, it's pretty evident why they call him the Kamikaze Kid. He goes for the gusto all the time. This is Ace 9 versus Jack 10 offsuit. Han Lee is going to try to outdraw Stan Goldstein to knock him out of this tournament.
Oh, no.
But Jack comes on the flop. Even Stan goes into a wry grin. He said, I told you I'm going to call you if you raise me. 5 comes on. Stan's got to have an ace. He doesn't get it.
Stan, deeply dejected, shakes hands.
The Kamikaze Kid is fearless in this finals game. He's mowing them down and taking no prisoners.
Well, there's not a lot of sports that show the cash on the table before the finals. So this is very, very exciting to actually see the real green stuff. Only in America.
Let's see if there's really money in
Hey, Cliff! We gotta go!
Over $250,000 is on the table.
Can this mild-mannered Clark Kent find a way to stop this runaway freight train?
Now look at this. Look what Chris has. He's got a real big hand. He's got a pair of queens.
It's a very big hand. He's raising the pot $40,000. Now that's a big raise. The blind's only $6,000. Now Han Lee's got a situation here. He's only got a Jack 10 offsuit. He's only got about $115,000 left.
Calling.
He's going to gamble. He comes in for the $40,000 more. Now here comes the flop, Jack 5-4.
Han Lee has top pair. He thinks he's good.
Chris moves all in, and Han Lee quickly calls him. He can't get away from it. Now Chris has 2 queens. Han Lee has 2 jacks. He's got a 10 kicker.
Chris is a huge favorite here.
He's a 4-1 favorite to win this pot right now. Han Lee has to catch a jack or a 10.
Here we go. No.
4 comes on the turn.
Not going to help Han Lee.
No, what that means is it took 3 of his outs. He now has to catch a jack. He's got a 2-outer. He's a huge underdog. Right now, he's not feeling too good.
Crazier things have happened. Is he going to get lucky? No!
He made a full house, but the wrong one.
Chris has won the tournament.
Han Lee, second place.
Chris Kerrigan, who won the first pot of the day with 2 queens, ends the tournament with 2 queens. The ladies have been lucky for Chris today, Vince.
Incredibly so. $258,000 first prize. He does it with 2 ladies.
Chris Kerrigan has played the waiting game, and the waiting paid off in spades.
Well, Chris's big win at the Bicycle Casino gets him a $25,000 buy-in at the World Poker Tour Championship. And I can guarantee you, Mike, this guy will be there.
And Vince, there's another young man who's going down the road to the WPT Championship, but he took the long way around to get there.
On the beach in Aruba, it's all bronzed bodies and dazzling sunshine. But the mood inside is all business as the amateurs battle for a shot at the World Poker Tour Championship. And it's an all-finish finish as Anssi Tuulavirta goes heads up with Juha Helppi, the man who taught him poker just 3 months ago.
You can't beat me. Raise to 80,000.
There you go. Big raise.
Made it 80,000 to go. It's 50 more thousand to Anssi.
$50,000 raise.
Anssi has picked up a monster hand himself, an ace-queen offsuit, and he's moved all in.
Little does he know that he's a big underdog.
He's put it all in, $470,000.
Call.
And he's been called.
And the teacher calls him.
Let's see the hands. They are all in ace king.
And Anssi lets out a deep sigh of frustration. He is sick to see the teacher have ace-king. He knows he's a major underdog now, and he's got to get very lucky. Look at him. He's hiding his face. I don't really fault him for making that play heads up with an ace-queen, however.
Hey, let's get lucky. No.
Flop comes king-jack-8.
That's big for Juha with the kings.
Well, it's big, but it also gives a straight draw to Anssi. So if a 10 comes off, he will win. It's a 3. Anssi is going to need a 10.
Down to 1 card.
Or the teacher is going to win this tournament. It's a 6. The teacher stands up. He's excited.
Juha's done it.
Now Juha's going to get to watch the pro division and see who he's going to play for that precious seat in the World Poker Tour Championship Final. The action's about to get underway in the pro division of the Ultimate Poker Classic. Look at Scotty now. He just won the last pot and he's picked up an ace high here. He's got ace-8 offsuit. Well, he's feeling his Wheaties.
He's going all in and Phil calls him.
He goes all in and Phil beat him in the pot. Flop is 9-7 tree. Guy can backdoor straight or catch an ace. Otherwise, he's going to be our 3rd place finisher. Scotty Wynn is down to 1 card. He has got to catch an ace or he's going to be out in 3rd place.
It's over.
It's a 7. It doesn't come. Phil Gordon has knocked Scotty Wynn out of this tournament. Phil Gordon almost has a 3-1 lead now over Jennifer Harman. One of these two will play our amateur side winner from Helsinki, Finland, Juha Helppi, to determine who gets that seat in the prestigious World Poker Tour Final Championship event.
Phil calls 1,500.
Phil limps in with ace-queen here. Here she goes. She's picked up 2 6s and she's moved in, and Phil quickly calls her. He's quickly called. It's ace-queen versus 2 6s. We could have a champion here.
Hold up. The
flop comes queen 7-8. It's huge for Phil. He's flopped the top pair. Jennifer's going to need to catch a 6 or 2 running cards to make a straight. Otherwise, she is going to finish in the runner-up position. And 8, Jennifer now has a 2-outer. She has got to catch a 6. There it is.
Phil Gordon's done it.
Professional, amateur, American, Finn. Computer whiz versus in-your-face pro. This island isn't big enough for both. These two will compete at anything. And I do mean anything. Some people are just naturally competitive.
Hey!
There you go!
Now get used to that feeling.
These guys are merciless. There's only one way to settle this grudge match and determine who's the ultimate winner of the Ultimate Poker Classic.
Shuffle up and deal.
Well, Juha's on the button here. He picks up a nice hand. He's got ace-jack offsuit. He opens the pot for 500.
Look at this.
Gordon.
Phil's going all in with a pair of 5s, a real hand.
He's got 2 5s. He's not fooling around anymore. He bets his last $2,300.
Phil Gordon says, I've had enough. Put me out of my pain. If you must, I'm going all in.
And now the decision is on Juha. He has the ace-jack offsuit. It's a good hand playing heads up. If he wins this hand, he'll be the champion. He's got a chance to take him out.
Got a chance to bust it. You gotta take it. Yeah, I know. My hand is pretty good.
He did it. He's called. We have what's called a race. It's 2 5s against the ace-jack. Let's see what happens on the flop. Whoa! Flop comes ace, ace, deuce.
Huge flop.
You-Ha flopped 3 aces. Phil Gordon is going to need a 5 to stay alive in this championship. A 7 comes off. 1 to go. It's a 4.
It is over.
David has beaten Goliath, and You-Ha Helpy will get a $25,000 seat at the World Poker Tour Championship and a shot at nearly $3 million in prize money.
Well, You-Ha definitely had an advantage there because he was unknown. But that is all over. The cat is out of the bag. Come Bellagio, they're all going to know him. The kid with the purple glasses will be a known player, and he's very tough.
Well, you're right, Vince. He may have been one of the unknown players in the world, but I can tell you, You-Ha has game.
No, he does. But what else do you have to do in Finland? Seriously.
She was the first woman to ever earn $1 million in a single tournament, but that didn't keep her off the World Poker Tour's biggest bust list. Here's Kathy Liebert at number 5.
I'm all in.
She's all in. She is going for the gusto right here on hand 2. She has moved all her chips in against the chip leader, and he calls. Whoa! What a showdown we're going to have here. This is ace-king for Kathy, 2 queens for Chris. Chris is a slight favorite to win this hand, not much. It's virtually a coin flip. See what happens. 5, 5, 6. No help for Kathy. Look at her look. She knows she's got to have an ace or king or she's going to be out of here.
Not happening on 4th Street. Chris is in front with his queens.
Kathy Liebert is gone on the second deal of this tournament. Look at her.
Second hand. She didn't even have time to take a sip off a drink.
Later, the stars come out to play, and the World Poker Tour's special guest, Lou Diamond Phillips, will let us know who played the best and who should have stayed at home. And next, this guy's got the crowd on his side. He owns the casino, and he owns the cards as well. What could go wrong? Wait till you see.
When the World Poker Tour shipped down to Costa Rica, we had no idea we were in for a rumble in the jungle. The question wasn't, Mike, who was going to win the tournament. The question was, could anybody take on the local fat cat on his home turf?
6 of the top players in the world are ready to rumble in the jungle as
The World Poker Tour gets wild in Costa Rica.
our chip leader, Luis Milanes, has more money on the table than the other 5 players combined. Of course, it doesn't hurt that Luis is hosting the game in his very own casino, and he wants everyone to know it. Luis may be a casino owner, but in a hand against Jamie Ligator, you'd swear it was his first time in one.
He's going to gamble the Jack 10. Now, here's something a pro would never do, is call another 30,000 with a Jack high in this spot. But Luis has opted to call. He's gambling here, Vince.
Well, he loves to gamble, and you know what? It's been working throughout the tournament. This is the way he's been playing, so who knows?
Well, he runs into a big duke here. It's a Jack 10 versus 2 kings. He's a decided underdog. To win this pot, he's going to need a lot of help.
Jamie up from his seat, looking.
And the flop comes queen 7-3. No help at all. The 2 kings are a monster leader at this time. But now a 10 comes off. Now Luis can catch a 10 or a jack to win this pot. Otherwise, Jamie Ligator will double up. And a queen comes off.
2 ladies, he's not going to do it. Luis is like a statue. He does not move. He is stunned. He wanted this pot.
Well, frankly, he did play that pot like an amateur. He shouldn't have called his money off with a jack high. He called another 30,000, and now he's made a force out of both Jamie and Jose in the last 2 pots.
Look, he got a little unlucky. He didn't know he was going to run into Cowboys, 2 kings.
So can Luis hold out, or is the game going to get away from him?
Look at this. They're chanting, but it's not for the winner. It's for Luis.
They're trying to rally him. He's been on the downslide.
He's got friends out there. He's got employees out there. They're all there rooting for him.
Will it pay off for Luis, or will he walk away disgraced in his own casino? He'll need more than chips to outdraw the gutsy pro Jose Rosenkrantz.
It's ace-10 against pocket kings.
He needs a miracle outdraw.
And he got it, Vince. He has got it. It come 10-10 jack. Look at Luis. Look.
Luis, the casino owner, has just hit 3 of a kind with an ace. It is a miracle draw.
Whoa,
he cannot believe it. Neither can the crowd.
He's made 30 miles, but it's not over. Jose's dejected. He can still catch a king to win this pot, though.
Oh, no. A king!
Can you believe it? Look at Luis. Look at him. He's hollering at the dealer. How can you do that to me?
Miracle upon miracle.
In the meantime, Jose is excited. He has made kings full. Luis is going to have to catch a 10 to win this pot now. He said, look, give me my 10. You gave him his king.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Can he catch the one card out of the deck? It would have to be a 10 to stay alive.
What an amazing pot. Luis moves all in. He gets called by kings.
It's going to be a 10. 9.
It's not.
It's not. 9. He's not going to do it.
Luis the gunslinger has blazed his last bullets in this tournament. Well, Vince, this is it. The two Costa Ricans have come down for the heads-up battle of the duel in the jungle. Okay, Jamie's on the button here.
Okay, he's picked up a big hand. He's got ace-10, and he is raising strong.
He's moved all in, and look at Jose. He's picked up 2 jacks. He says, I call very quickly.
This is what it comes down to.
Ace-10 for Jamie, pocket jack for Jose.
This is the exact same hand that Luis went out on, an ace-10. Let's see if Jose can do it again. Jose's about a 2.5 to 1 favorite. If he holds up, he'll be our champion. Here's the flop. A 4 and a 7.
Having trouble getting that third card out, but it's a 6. It is not a help for Jamie at this point. The jacks are in front at this point.
Okay.
4th Street, no.
The atmosphere is electric, Vince. One more card. We could have a champion. If a 3 or an 8 comes off, notice he'll split the pot. Jamie will need an ace to win this pot.
Can he get this ace? They're going to burn and they're going to turn. He needs an ace.
No, it's a deuce. Jose knows he's done it. What a great moment for Jose Rosenkrantz. When the World Poker Tour shifted its focus to San Francisco, the time was right for players to take chances and for one of them to get lucky. Vince, the event at Lucky Chances Casino was the largest poker tournament ever held in Northern California. Talk about a gold rush.
Yeah.
We're here at the Lucky Chances Casino, where the losers will be leaving behind a lot more than their hearts in the city by the bay. A venture capitalist, a poker writer, a poker brat, and a magician joined the Swiss businessman and his former music promoter at the final table. His first time at a major finals table, Antonio Esfandiari comes out swinging.
Look at this. Antonio has picked up an ace-3 offsuit. Not a great hand. He says he's raising the first pot, so he's called the 12, and now he's going to make a raise. And here he goes. He's put in a total of $53,000 in this pot. And look at Tommy Garza. He's got ace-jack.
Look at, he's throwing it away.
Actually, he throws that hand away. Paul Darden, we see he's got the king-4 of diamonds.
Not a horrible starting hand. That's pretty interesting, but he's throwing it away, too.
Chris Bigler has a king-deuce offsuit. He will not play. Vince Bergio has an ace-8. He mucked his hand.
Phil Hellmuth's giving a good look here.
How much more do you have? Not a big enough.
And now he's throwing it away.
He showed an ace and threw it away, I might add.
Sure.
Antonio picks up the first pot, and we're underway.
It looks like the 23-year-old magician has plenty of tricks up his sleeve. And before long, Phil and Antonio would clash for one last time.
So far, Antonio has been in perfect step today. Looks like the Ohio State Marching Band. Hasn't missed a step, hasn't missed a beat. Will he make the correct decision here and call with this king-queen? Let's see what he does here against Phil Hellmuth.
Room for him to call, I just hope he doesn't outdraw me.
Ooh, listen to that. Now, Phil actually made that statement thinking he has the best hand.
A little table talk, a big smile.
He really believed that Antonio would have called already had he could beat the king-jack. But just look at the beauty of this World Poker Tour events. Because we can see their cards, we see the excitement, the electricity here, the problems, the decisions these players have to make. He does it.
Phil is devastated.
Here he goes. Look at Phil. It's heartbreak for him when he sees that hand.
Oh, no.
It's King Queen versus King Jack. What a call by Antonio here. Phil Hellmuth knows he's in big trouble now.
Well, we've got a battle on our hands here at another huge WPT tournament.
Phil Hellmuth knows he's going to have to get lucky to win this pot.
No, not yet. Big favorite Antonio still in front after 3 cards. Let's see the next one. Nope, it's not going to do it for Phil.
Phil Hellmuth needs a jack or he will be out of this tournament in 4th position. And a queen comes up at the river. Antonio wins the pot. He knocks out the legendary Phil Hellmuth.
Antonio's done it. The arms are raised up above.
Show some class and shake my hand, kid. Don't do the wave in that face.
I always do the wave in that.
Our former world champion is history.
He is crushed.
The question now is, can Paul Darden make Antonio the Magician disappear?
Now, Antonio needs a king to make a higher pair than Paul, or a queen to make a straight, or his rabbit is going back in the hat.
It's all over for Antonio, who played so well. Well, here we go. Chris is looking at his hand. He has a king and a deuce off suit. What's he going to do?
He's on the button with king high.
He's raising it.
He's made it 80,000 more.
Wow.
He's raised this pot 80,000 more with a king deuce offsuit. Now, he did just win the last pot.
As we've seen in this tournament, he likes to play that momentum. He likes to win a pot, gets lucky with 1 pot, and he goes a little more aggressively with a 2nd pot.
Now, Paul Darden is out of position with the queen-8 of diamonds, and looks like he's going to play this hand.
Well, you know, he's got those 2 suits. That's always more attractive.
He's called 80,000 more. He's got one of your suited hands, Vince, that you like.
Comes up.
Flop comes out.
And he's flopped the flush draw.
This is interesting.
I'm all in.
And he's all in.
Call.
And Darden has called.
Paul Darden has a flush draw. He checked. Chris quickly moved all in, and Paul said, I call immediately.
Why did Chris go all in? That's what I want to know.
Well, Chris had king high. He was hoping Paul would lay the hand down, of course. When Paul beat him in the pot, he didn't like it.
Has a pair.
He's actually going to like seeing his hand, though, because he has the best hand with the king high.
Paul's got 4 to the flush. 1 more diamond, and he'll win this thing.
Either player has a pair.
Well, he can catch a diamond, he can catch a queen, he can catch an 8. He's got a lot of cards to win the pot with.
That's right.
Here it comes. There it is. The Jack of Diamonds. It's history.
He's done it.
Paul Darden is the Gold Rush Lucky Chances World Poker Tour champion. He has done it.
Oh, man.
Later, this man is going to be the first to do what no one else has done before on the World Poker Tour. What is it going to be? And next, the world's largest casino is barely big enough to hold the knockdown, drag-out fight that's taking place.
It's a tough way to make an easy living.
They come from around the world and all walks of life to play on the World Poker Tour. An ex-cab driver from Lebanon, an engineer with a Harvard Law degree, a former music promoter and father of 4, a newlywed, a former pro football player, an ex-construction worker, a chess master and his sister, a doctoral candidate in psychology, a Vietnamese Buddhist who helps build orphanages. What brings such a diverse group together? It's all in the cards.
The world's largest casino was barely big enough to contain the young lions who played at this World Poker Tour Championship. And while youth was roaring, a quiet pro with a computer brain and the guts of a cat burglar was showing them all just who was king of the jungle.
Now on to the largest casino in the world, New England's Foxwoods Resort. Today's prize pool is worth $916,000. Early on, 26-year-old Phil Ivey, the Tiger Woods of poker, showed Pete Giordano the difference between a pro and an amateur.
You can see him being tortured. It feels like he's being stretched on the rack or something. Here, look at him. It's mortality for him if he calls and loses this pot, and that's what he's thinking about. He doesn't want to die at this moment. I'll be very surprised if he does not call this, though. I mean, he has a pretty big hand here. He's up against an aggressive player. You know, you got to give Phil Ivey a lot of credit here. I mean, it takes a lot of moxie. When you bet and a guy raised you $30,000, and you move all in with a second pair on the board with an ace standing out there, and you don't have one, whoa.
This is why Phil Ivey is a great player. He has great imagination here to re-raise this bet.
Now, he has a tough decision. We can see it's easy to make, and everybody out there saying, call, you idiot. This is an easy call. But it's not when you're sitting on the battlefield, I can tell you. He's thinking about the hands he can lose to, like ace-king, like 3-5s, like 3-6s. There are hands that can beat him.
He is stupefied. He's talking to himself now.
Oh, man. Just think, if he just knew what Phil Ivey had right here.
I'll let you have it.
Peter's going to lay down the hand. Phil's going to take a block.
He lets him have it. A big laydown right there by Peter Dordana.
Well, this is why Phil is great.
Let me tell you right now, the way that hand came out, it was a Rolls Royce of bluffs.
Next, attorney Andy Block locks horns with retired businessman Ron Rose.
Oh, Ron's just praying, go out, please go out.
See how Andy can even think about folding.
No, he can't.
And he calls.
Okay, this could be it for Ron Rose.
Now Howard picks up a 3-10 offsuit. He's not going to call. He folds, and here to go. And this is going to be more heartache for Ron when he sees this hand.
He doesn't want to flip his cards over, but he's going to have to.
This is ace-4 of diamonds against ace-queen. He's going to need a lot of help to win this pot to stay alive in this tournament.
Here it comes.
There it is. It's ace-6-5. Now, they both made a pair of aces.
But the kicker, of course, for Andy is stronger. He has a queen kicker.
Now, a 7 comes on the turn. Now, this gives Ron more outs. He needs a 3, 4, and 8, or he's out of this tournament. And he is going to do it. Ron Rose is going to be our 6th place finisher.
Phil then takes on the other young buck at the table, Lane Flack. They're best friends outside the casino, but you'd never know it watching them here.
Now, the question is, Phil Ivey with an open-end straight, what is he going to do?
Yeah, plus he's got 3 hearts. He could have 2 running hearts. He's got a lot of options here. Yeah, he's going to call it.
It cost him $15,000. He wants to take a card off, see if he can hit the miracle card, which would be a 6 or a jack in this spot.
Turn card is a queen.
The queen comes off, and it's the queen of hearts.
Yeah, so now he's got an open-end straight draw and 4 hearts.
Now, Lane checks here.
So does Phil.
Now, notice Phil Ivey checks. He's got a straight flush draw, and he checks.
Jack.
And the jack comes.
He got lucky with it.
He has made a straight here.
What a huge card for Phil.
He's made the straight. But here comes Lane. He's jumping in the bucket here.
Lane bets $25,000.
Lane bets $25,000.
Look at this. Phil thinks it's happy days are here again. You got your sucker on your right betting into you when you caught you straight. What to do, how to massage him. Do you try to break him?
Well, remember, right now there's $125,000 or so sitting out in the pot.
And Phil says I'm all in.
Phil Ivey has moved all in again. He's raised over the top. Whoa. This is a $250,000 raise Phil Ivey just made. Unbelievable. Phil Ivey has the heart of a lion, I'm telling you. This guy is not afraid to stick all his chips in the pot. He is a tiger at the poker table.
But will Phil be able to wrestle a $500,000 pot away from Howard Lederer?
Phil Ivey has made a flush draw and a straight draw. Look at Howard scratching his head. He knows that card was trouble for him. He's got to dodge a club, an ace, and a 10 now.
Okay, let's see the river. Jack comes on.
And it's a jack.
Well, Phil is gone, and we're down to 3.
Now it's the local boy Andy whose neck is on the chopping block.
Andy Block needs a spade, a 10, or a jack, or he will be out of this tournament in 3rd position.
It's a 7.
It's a 7. He does not do it. Andy Block, our attorney, just lost his case.
In the end, it would be Howard and Lane duking it out.
Now, this is going to cost Howard $150,000 to call this re-raise with an ace-9. Now, that's a powerful, unbelievable call to make with just an ace-9 when the man goes all in front of you. Howard has whittled him down and whittled him down, but if Lane Flack wins this pot, they're going to be pretty close in chips again.
He has a real hand. He has a pair of 3s at this point. Heads up. He's a little frustrated maybe about being pushed around that last hand, and he's going all in.
call, he says.
Okay.
Howard Leder has made a call here with an ace-9. He's going to be happy to see Lane's hand because it's an even money race. He's got a chance. If he wins this pot, he's champion. He doesn't have to fool with Lane anymore if he can win this pot.
This could be it. Let's see what happens.
Flop, we have a 9.
Bam, a 9 comes right off on the flop. It's 9-4 deuce. The joker comes off for Howard on the flop.
What a huge flop for Howard. Here's 4th Street.
The 4 comes off. Lane Flack is down to 1 of 2 threes. He's got to catch 1 3 or another 3 or he's out of this tournament.
Howard scratches his head for second. Can he?
He's feeling good right now. Bang, there it is. Howard Leder, our champion. What a call he made there with the ace-9 of hearts, Vince.
Put the deck back in the pack. This game is over.
Well, Vince, at Foxwoods, we witnessed some incredible poker by sensational poker players.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. If there was an all-star team in the poker world, not only would Howard Leder, Lane Flack, and Phil Ivey make the team, they would be in the starting lineup. And Vince, these are the guys that battled for the title at Foxwoods. And on this go-around, Howard Leder came out on top.
Well, you're right about that, Mike. Now, when the World Poker Tour went steaming down the mighty Mississippi to the birthplace of poker, we had no idea that there was a fish swimming alongside the boat. It was a devilfish, ready to strike.
Legend has it that poker was born on the mighty Mississippi, and these 6 players are back at its birthplace to try and make some history of their own. In an early round, local boy Jeremy the Kid Tinsley turns the heat up on fearless Devilfish Elliott.
This is a dream flop. Look at Jeremy. Now look at this.
Now, what will the kid do here?
Jeremy's got 3 of a kind. He's checking. This is a beautiful sand job. This is a sandbag in here.
I'll tell you that. What a play by the kid here. Now the 5 of spade comes off. Well, now that puts a 3rd spade out on the board.
Look at this. He's trapped the Devilfish. Devilfish is going to bet this.
Devilfish is going to bluff at it right here.
Watch and learn, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you do it. And look at Jeremy. Looking at his hand, he's doing a beautiful acting job here. This guy should get a SAG card, go to Hollywood, because this guy knows how to play it.
He's very curious as to what the kid has in his hand. He may sacrifice the $55,000 just to see what the kid has. He certainly don't want to give away $55,000, but he may think his queens are the best hand.
Devilfish really trying to figure this out. He studies. He's got to call.
He does call it. Look at this. He does want to see the cards.
He's not going to like this.
He's not going to like it when he sees it.
Welcome to Texas, says Jeremy.
He wins the pot. A full house for the kid on the first hand.
Buddy Williams then shows Devilfish and the Kid that they're not alone in this game.
Come on.
Oh, he goes all in. Now, he'll get the respect of these guys. When he goes all in, he's got the goods. He doesn't fool around. They know it. I can't see either one of them playing this hand. Nope, there goes the devil. And there goes Jeremy. Buddy Williams will get respect when he goes all in. It's the first time we've seen him make a move today. And when he does so, he's got the goods.
As the other players all muck their hands, the Devilfish plots his revenge on the Kid.
I'm all in.
Devilfish is going all in, Mike.
Devilfish says, I'm betting it all.
Devilfish re-raises all in.
Didn't even hesitate. He's all in.
Tit for tat here.
Right now, the kid is not feeling too good about his ace-4 offsuit. Look at him. He's saying a prayer right now. What have I done?
Just get the frog off the table, all right?
He better trade that frog in for an alligator. He's fooling with the Devilfish. Huh?
I'll tell you something. It's not over yet. Yes, it is over. He's going to throw it away wisely.
And it would have been all over for him had he played that pot, probably. Devilfish was in a dominating position with ace-king against ace-4. And now the kid is in trouble. He's down to about 80,000.
But the Devil's revenge on the Kid is bittersweet as it's dished out by Buddy Williams.
Jeremy, the Kid Tinsley has got to get lucky or he's going to be our 5th place finisher.
Here it comes, Mike. Here's the flop.
Flop comes ace, king, 6. Buddy takes
ace, king, 6.
That's that's big for Buddy.
Jeremy's going to have to catch 2 running cards to win this pot.
Oh,
he doesn't
ace.
do it. An ace comes off. Jeremy, the Kid Tinsley, is going to be our 5th place finisher. Look at him. Congratulate Buddy. Very good sport. You got to really like this guy.
Eventually, it would come down to Devilfish and the young pro Phil Ivey.
I'm hoping he knocks everybody out. I mean, I'm hoping it gets down to me and him.
Me and him have had a few run-ins over the last couple of days, so he knows he can't bully me.
Whoa, what a flop.
Wow.
It's 8-7-3. The Devilfish has flopped an open-end straight, but Phil Ivey has flopped the top pair.
Absolutely. He's got a legitimate pair, and he's going to bet it.
The Devilfish checks, and Phil Ivey bets 20,000.
Look at this. Devilfish is going all in with this open-end straight.
And Phil Ivey quickly calls him with a top pair.
Oh, this is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen.
For the Devilfish to win this pot, he's going to have to catch a 4 or a 9. Right now, Phil Ivey is a favorite to win this pot. If he does so, he will double up and be a force in this tournament.
Classic battle of hands. Let's see what happens.
Oh, it's a 4.
That's it.
It's over. Devilfish makes a straight on the next card off the deck.
Ooh.
He needed a 4 or 9. The 4 pops right off.
Champion Devilfish.
Huge outdraw for the Devilfish. He's going to take this title and the $589,000 first prize. Rod Rose has just picked up a pair of aces, a monster hand.
Rod's moving all in. He's not fussing around. He's grabbed all his chips. He has moved over the top of TJ Cloutier. He has a pair, so he'll play. And here goes TJ.
Oh, boy, he's in.
He's got 2 aces already.
You can't really fold him for playing here. He's on a short stack. He was hoping he was up against ace-king.
He's got 2 aces.
Here comes the flop. No, it's not going to help TJ yet. Here we go.
An 8 comes off. TJ Cloutier has to catch 1 of 2 7s.
Last card.
Boom, he doesn't do it.
He's out of this competition.
Now he's tied Kathy Lieber for the quickest knockout on the World Poker Tour, out on the second deal.
Later, it's on to Paris, City of Lights, City of Magic.
Open one card, please. Anyone in the room?
But you won't believe the Euro trash talking, and the French are less than pleased.
Excuse me, sir.
Look at this. He's calling the land back.
And next,
The World Poker Tour Big Time in Reno, Nevada.
Shauna takes us on a whirlwind tour around the world.
How come she gets to have all the fun, Vince?
Take a good look in the mirror, Mike.
You got a good point there.
Mom? Dad? Okay, I know I've been with Charles for 6 months now, and I know you're probably wondering why I haven't brought him home to meet you. Okay, here's the thing. I'm ashamed of him.
Good at bluffing? Play poker online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
Welcome back to this special edition of the World Poker Tour, the road to the championship. And Vince, this truly is the World Poker Tour.
Yeah, because Mike, we have actually traveled to 3 different continents, over 40,000 miles, by land, by sea, by air. By the way, I still can't get an upgrade. But nevertheless, Shauna Hyatt has been with us every step of the way.
After a few days on board the Party Poker Million cruise, one thing becomes clear. These guys know poker, and they know how to throw a party.
Party Poker Million 2. Yes!
Christopher Columbus discovered and named Costa Rica. When he landed in the New World, Columbus's crew tore leaves from trees and fashioned cards to play a game. Perhaps they should have named it Poker Rica. In the mid-19th century, if you wanted to try your luck in the #1 spot to gamble in the U.S., you first had to go west, young man, all the way to San Francisco. Paris and poker, a match made in heaven, next on the World Poker Tour.
Well, Mike, tell us, what would be your favorite stop on the tour in the past year?
Well, I'd have to say my favorite stop was in Paris.
Well, Paris, no wonder. You won the European Heads-Up Championship. Of course it is. I would have to say San Francisco, because that's where I lost the least amount of money in the casino, which is very nice. But let's talk about Paris. You think of Paris, you think about old Europe. You know, sophisticated, very refined, very cultured. But when the World Poker Tour rumbled into that town, we resemble more of a hockey game with national pride at stake.
At the European Poker Championship, it's a battle for national pride as France fights to defend its honor against Sweden, Australia, and the US of A.
You gotta be careful with your money.
It's trash meets class as Australia's Tony G invades France with his abrasive style and obnoxious chatter.
Charge him 20,000. 20,000.
He says he's betting 20,000. Jock check.
He's not betting, he's charging him.
I like that. He is charging him.
Tony G bet 20,000.
I wonder if Jock will recharge him right here. No, Jock folds.
Have a look at one card. Anyone can have a look at one card.
He's going to his routine, the one you can look at one card
Pick
routine
a card.
again.
This guy must used to work in the carnivals or something. Pick a card. Just like the shell game master.
Can you open one card, please? Anyone in the room?
Nobody at the table's taking his bait. Now he's inviting anybody in the room to turn up one of the cards. Nobody goes for it.
This guy is a maestro. I want to party with this guy.
Look at Jock. Look at him. Turning around looking for somebody. Help.
The maestro from down under talking his way, flopping big hands.
Everyone's a winner here.
Tony continues his barrage of annoying banter against Frenchman Alain Hagige.
Monster for Tony.
Yep, he's hit the jackpot here.
Look at this. Alain is biting into this, trying to go
Alain
for a block. What a
tapping.
bad time.
He's moved all in right here. He's nearly drawing dead here, as we say. It's got to come king, 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 ace, or ace, ace for Alain to win this pot.
Tony G flopping the full boat, basically over, put him on the morphine drip.
Give him a 7. Give him a 7.
He moved
Alain is in big trouble.
He sure is.
That's it. That's a 7 from heaven.
Alain is going to be our 6th place finisher.
Oh, yeah, baby. Just think that.
Look at this. He's calling Alain back. He wants to shake hands.
Well, Alain is a complete gentleman, but
I think
he's shaking his hand. But I can tell you, he's not a happy camper right now. I believe all the gamesmanship and the trash talk has affected Alain's game today.
Even the crowd was disgusted with this oaf of a player.
Oh, look at this. It's beautiful. This is all cash. This is all money.
Can America come to the rescue and finally shut Tony G up?
Look at Tony. He's a little stunned. First dent in the armor here.
The queen didn't come.
So the man that brings poker down to the level of barroom darts or mud wrestling is finally going to take a hit.
Would the French get to savor the sweet taste of revenge on the insufferable Tony G?
Tony's going back down under here maybe after this hand. It's ace-3 versus ace-king here. Tony does not like it. You have to feel a little pain for this guy, Vince. No doubt about it.
Well, he's been playing great all afternoon.
Well,
he still can get lucky.
He's going to have to get very lucky to win this pot. Let's see if he does it. Comes queen, jack, deuce. No help at all. Tony G is going to have to catch a 3 or a 4 and a 5 to make a straight to stay alive in this tournament.
Not yet.
6 comes off. If Tony G does not catch a 3, he'll be our 5th place finisher.
Oh, so close.
And it's a 4. He is out. The guy that was rambling and gambling and talking and chirping has gone down. He is our 5th place finisher.
In the end, it would come down to Sweden against France in a fight for the pot and their country's honor.
And look at this, Mike. He's got a real hand. He's got a pair of 7s.
Oh, we could see some electricity in this pot, Vince.
Throwing the plaques in.
He comes in for 60,000. And look at this. Claude Cohen has gone all in for $450,000.
He is. And you know what he's got? He's got the whale of a hand. Ace-king suited of diamonds.
He's betting the whole caboodle right now. This is it for him, Vince.
Oh, man, this is a pretty hand for Claude.
And now look at Chris. Put yourself in his position. You're looking at 2 7s. The man's bet you $400 and some thousand. What do you do now with 2 7s in this spot? Look at Chris's face. Now he knows the best he can hope for probably is that Claude has 2 overcards, which means this will be a virtual coin flip.
Chris looks tortured.
Well, Claude, actually, I don't think he's going to mind if he calls or if he doesn't call right here. He's made his move.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a big hand.
I called.
He's hoping he doesn't have a pair.
Chris is calling. This is going to be it, Mike.
He does. It's ace-king of diamonds versus 2 7s. The 2 7s may be ever so slight favorite, but this is virtually a coin flip. Bro.
Absolutely.
This is a coin flip for like $400,000, Vince.
Well, Chris is in front so
Jack
far.
6-3. Now, Claude is going to have to catch an ace or a king or 2 running diamonds or a queen and a 10 to win this pot.
Not
a 10 comes off. Claude Cohen is going to have to catch an ace, king, or queen, or he is going to be with virtually no chips left hardly. Let's see what happens. And it's a 10.
Oh, yeah.
Chris has done it.
The Frenchman going down, losing to the amazing play of Chris Johansson, our winner from Sweden, here at the Aviation Club in Paris, France. Chris Johansson's win ensures him a seat at the upcoming World Poker Tour Championship with nearly $3 million in the prize pool and a cool $1 million to the ultimate winner.
But there was one moment in Paris that changed the whole complexion of the match. It was big enough to skew the outcome and exciting enough to make our big bust list at number 3. Here's Tony. He has a big hand on the button. Ace King comes in for 30,000. Claude doesn't have anything. A Jack 4 of hearts. But he's going all in. And Tony quickly beats him in the pot. Tony has way the best hand. Here's the flop. Wow! Flop is 7-7 ace, giving Tony aces up, but
Tony's in front, but Claude has 4 to the flush.
Claude Cohen is going to need a heart right now. And he catches one.
And he's going to win this
Queen
hand.
of spade. Claude Cohen is doubled up.
Later, he's one of the young guns. Now special guest host Lou Diamond Phillips explains why he was shooting blanks at this WPT tournament. And next, one man is about to make World Poker Tour history. Who is he, and what is he going to do to deserve the honor?
Welcome back to this special edition of the World Poker Tour, the road to the championship. I'm Mike Sexton.
And I'm Vince Van Patten. They call him the Great Dane, or Gambling Gus Hansen. And I'll tell you, when he walked into the Commerce Casino, he lived up to his title. He was there for one reason, and for one reason alone, to make poker history.
At the Los Angeles Classic, Gus Hansen is out to grab a $500,000 prize along with a second win. Challenging Hansen, a Harvard lawyer, a Poker Player of the Year, a Hollywood insider, and this legendary Vegas showman. And out to prove he can hang with the big boys is business student Danny Renser. Danny started in a satellite tournament for $200 and is now chip leader. Right from the get-go, it was plain to see that Danny was gunning for Gus.
He's got a real hand. He's got ace-10 of hearts.
He quickly calls with ace-10 of hearts on the button in favorable position.
Now look at this. Our man Gus Hansen. Don't do it, Gus. He's got a 3-2 again. Junk hand, Mike.
He just doesn't want to throw it away. Look at him. It pains him to throw a hand away, this guy.
This guy never met a hand he didn't like.
How do you play with a 3 and a deuce when a guy's raised and another guy's called? I mean, unbelievable that Gus could even think about playing this hand when it's been raised and called in front of him, and he's looking at a 3 deuce offsuit.
He's gonna fold.
And there would be plenty of collateral damage in Danny's mission to remove Gus from power.
7 deuce offsuit.
Oh, it's a big hand.
Even veteran Andy Block can't seem to find a bunker deep enough.
Daniel Renser's gotten lucky. He's got a pair of 10s on the flop. It's going to be on Andy first. Look at him checking out the youngster, Daniel.
This is not a very attractive flop for a pair of 5s.
No.
He's going to bet 20,000, and look at this.
Quick call by
Daniel just beat him in the pot almost. Now that may put the brakes on Andy. Look at the concerned look on his face. He's not happy there.
No.
The man beat him in the pot.
Here comes the next card of 7. It's not going to help either player.
They both check.
And check.
Last card to come off is a 9. And he checks again.
Daniel wants more.
It's 20,000.
He's bet 20,000 with a pair of 10s here, the second pair. Pretty daring bet on his part, I think, right here, betting a pair of 10s. Andy folded his 2 5s. But what a bet right there by Daniel Renser.
Andy, who came in third at Foxwoods, is desperately trying to stay in the game.
I'm all in.
He's all in. He says he's all in.
What?
Gus Hansen has gone all in. And look, Andy doesn't even hesitate. I'm amazed Andy put his money in there that quick with ace-8 offsuit.
I think Gus is even shocked he did.
It's another 110,000 to him. He just fired it in there with ace-8, and it turns out he has the best hand. He's about a 60% favorite to win this pot with an ace-8 against Gus Hansen's king-jack.
He's got to love this position. He's got Gus where he wants him. I think Gus was a little shocked that he called so quickly. We're going to see a flop. Here it comes. Whoa!
First card off is a jack, Andy is in a daze right now. He knows he needs an ace now to win this pot.
Gus has made a huge flop.
It could come a 9 and a 10. He'll make it straight.
Now there's a 10 on
there's
4th
a 10.
Street.
He can now catch a 9, a club, or an ace to stay alive in this tournament. If he doesn't, he will be our third place finisher.
We're going to see the last card coming up. Here's the river.
A 9 will give him a straight. An ace gives him the win. It's not to be. It's a queen.
It's over for Andy Block.
Bang, bang. A left and a right by Gus Hansen to Andy Block right there.
With Andy out of the way, it's the battle of the bluffs as Gus and Danny fling the chips.
Look at this. He has bet $100,000 with the Queen 8 of diamonds. I'm telling you, Vince, winning that last pot put some pep in Daniel's step. He has raised Gus $100,000 here with the Queen 8.
Well, he's doing a little bit of Gus. This is a Gus move right now.
Now, because we can see their cards, Vince, we know that he is a big underdog in Gus's hands, a Queen 8 against a Queen 10. But certainly, if you're sitting in Gus's seat, a Queen 10 doesn't look too good when your opponent's re-raised you $100,000.
Well, this kid has nerves of steel, and it's going to pay off here. He's going to take this pot.
Gus folds. I think you have to lay it down. You just have to give the kid credit for making a bet like that.
This student has definitely paid attention to his teacher.
Here comes Gus. He bets $10,000.
Gus bets $10,000.
Look at this. Gus has bet with absolutely nothing. And Daniel has re-raised with absolutely nothing.
And he's going to push Gus out of the pot.
And he wins the pot. He check-raised with nothing there and picked up that pot, Daniel did.
Oh, man. Just buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the land of glitter, watching the art of the bluff masters at work.
With a $400,000 pot and one of the best poker players in the world across the table, the pressure is taking its toll on Danny Rentzer.
Daniel's not fooling around anymore. He's picked up a Queen 10. He goes all in.
All right.
Gus is going to call him. Gus has picked up Ace-Jack.
This is going to do it. They're both all in. Ace-Jack against Queen 10.
Daniel knows he's in trouble now.
Daniel's up on his feet.
It's Ace-Jack versus Queen 10. Daniel stretches, puts his arms behind his head. He knows he's an underdog. Here comes the flop.
Here it comes. Oh, yeah.
The 10 comes on the flop. Daniel has done it so far.
Yeah, he's got a pair of 10s. He's in front. He could double up.
Remember, if he wins this pot, it'll be over $400,000.
That's not going to help Gus any. Daniel's in front.
A big swing here.
He would love to take this pot.
He needs
right
ace
back
or a
in
jack. Whoa, a jack comes at the river.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Gus Hansen is hitting lightning at the river.
It's over. Gus has done it.
Don't feel too bad for Danny. Second place earned him over $250,000 and a seat at the World Poker Tour Championship in Las Vegas.
There's nothing embarrassing about losing to the great Dane Gus Hansen. But the best thing about poker is that there's always a rematch. And there's a good chance that these guys' paths will cross again at the WPT Championship.
Later, the WPT sets sail for the Caribbean, and this man is either going to find buried treasure or walk the plank. Which will it be? And next, it's a full house of stars, and they've come with some tricks up their sleeves.
Welcome back to the WPT Road to the Championship. You know, Vince, one of my favorite stops on the World Poker Tour was the WPT Celebrity Invitational.
Oh, no, you're right about that. It was great to see some of Hollywood's finest go up against the poker superstars of the world and watch them sweat.
And one of those stars is with us now to help bring some highlights of Hollywood to this special edition of the World Poker Tour, Mr. Lou Diamond Phillips. Welcome, Lou.
Hey, Lou.
Hi. Thanks, guys. You know, poker has come to Hollywood in a big way. There are weekly home games hosted by such stars as Edward Norton, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Vince Vaughn. And when the World Poker Tour stormed into town, the stars couldn't resist taking on the biggest names in poker.
An actor's ability to effectively portray a character can win them great respect and even greater paychecks. But these masters of make-believe have realistic ideas about translating the tricks of their trade to world-class poker.
I think if you're a good actor, it helps you.
I'd like to think I have a good poker face.
So I'll be able to fake it the whole time.
If you're a bad actor, it's going to hurt you.
These cats, you know, they can just read your tells all over the place.
Reading your opponent is half the battle. And the World Poker Tour professionals had a variety of ideas on how to attack the stars and win the other half.
You can definitely intimidate them, and even though they have the best hand, you got a good chance to take it away.
I'll be really surprised if one of the actors win the tournament.
But comedian Dom DeLuise had more than practical advice for his fellow stars. He had some tricks up his sleeve.
This is your hand, right?
Okay.
And then you go, look, there's a caterpillar, and then when they're looking, you just go, and then you say, I think you have some sauce on your lip.
Okay.
You see?
Of course, the pros decidedly have the upper hand. But the stars weren't ready to fold their hands and run for the Hollywood Hills.
The amateurs can get lucky, but the celebrities that were at my table, they made moves like a celebrity would make, and they didn't get lucky.
With these guys, it's straight up, it's real poker, and they're not messing around.
Spoken like a true World Poker Tour pro.
Mike, Vince, I've got to tell you, to say that playing in the Invitational was an absolute thrill for me is just a major understatement.
Well, Lou, welcome to the world of poker, the world of gain and pain. How was your experience in Los Angeles? You have a good time?
I had an incredible time, but I have to say, after the dust settled, I really felt as if I'd put the Lou in loser. I've been on a number of sets. I've done a few stunts, and I don't believe my heart pounded quite that much in such a long time. It was such a thrill for me to sit across the table from so many of those faces that I've seen on the World Poker Tour. It was a blast.
Hey, Lou, maybe we should call you Lou Diamond Heart Spade Club Phillips.
Oh, better that than Joker, right?
You know something, Lou? You actually have a very good poker name. Lou Diamond it's a great poker nickname. Unlike Meatloaf, for example, who would have a great, prison nickname. But you have a great name. What are you going to do with that?
I'm trying to get together a game with Gary Hart, Melissa Joan Hart, maybe Sam Spade. I don't know. What do you think?
Hey, Lou, thanks a lot for being with us on the World Poker Tour.
Thanks for coming out.
Well, when the Stardust cleared, the remaining players were some of the best in the game. I mean to tell you, it was a mini who's who of poker, and one caused a lot of flack for the rest of the pack.
Hollywood star power turned out in droves for the WPT Invitational, where they tried their hand at some real acting. The atmosphere was playful, and the mood carried over to the pros. It was a long shot that any celeb would make it to the finals table alongside the experts. But Los Angeles Lakers owner Jerry Buss beat the odds.
Shuffle up, tee 'em.
Jerry beat the odds even further as he watched poker greats fall before him. First to get the axe was former Player of the Year, Tony Ma.
Tony Ma is going to need an ace to stay alive in this tournament, or he will be our fifth place finisher. He does not get it.
He doesn't do it. He's knocked out.
Tony Ma has been outdrawn by Lane Flack.
Next, Men the Master goes all in, but who will be all out?
He's going to need a miracle for the last card.
He's got to have a 5. He does not catch it. Men the Master has gone out. Back to back, we've lost Tony Ma and Men the Master, 2 tournament players of the year.
Then it's time for another maybe next year speech.
David Chu comes up betting 15,000. Lane quickly says all in.
All in?
Now Lane thinks his ace high is the best hand right here. And now look at David Chu. Now he is put to the test right here. He has the best hand with ace 10. But is he going to call all this money? If he's wrong and loses this pot, he's out of this tournament. And he calls. David Chu thinks his ace 10 is the best hand. What a great call right here by David Chu. It's ace 10 versus ace 6. Now the only way David Chu can lose this pot is if a 6 comes off the deck.
Here it comes.
Whoa!
A 6!
Look at this. A 6 comes off. Lane Flack has outdrawn David Chu.
Oh.
If David doesn't catch a 10, he is out of this tournament, or the case 8. I'll tell you, you got to feel heartbreak for David Chu right there.
Oh, this isn't poker. This is Russian roulette. That was ridiculous.
David Chu made a great bet on the flop. He made a great call when Lane Flack moved all in on him. He thought he had the best hand. He did so. He really played unlucky to lose this pot, Vince.
It's all down to Jerry Buss and Lane Flack, and Jerry seems to have the home court advantage as he limps in and traps Lane.
Jerry's picked up a pair of 10s, and he's just going to call.
He just limps in. He does not raise with these big hands.
Lane Flack has picked up a pair of 8s.
Uh-oh, we could have a nice clash here. This is 2 10s versus 2 8s, and here goes Lane. He's grabbing chips. He raised it, makes it 46,000.
And Jerry is going to go all in, Mike.
And Lane quickly called him. It's 2 10s versus 2 8s. Jerry is in good shape right here. He is about an 80% favorite to win this pot.
Oh, he has got to be excited. This is why we play poker, for this exact situation.
This is 2 10s versus 2 8s. Jerry Buss has a real good chance to double up right now in this tournament.
Come on, 10. The big 10. The big 10. There it is.
Bang, there it is. Jack 10-9, but wait a minute.
You know a queen's coming.
One more 10.
3 of a kind on the flop.
This flop actually helps Lane Flack in that he now has 8 cards he can win with. A 7 or a queen will give him a straight.
You're right about that. He's got some outs.
He'll make a straight if a 7 or a queen comes off.
Not yet. It's not going to get there.
It's a 6. If Lane doesn't catch a 7 or a queen, Jerry Buss will double up.
Last card.
It's a 9.
Jerry doubles up.
But Lane counters by betting with nothing and pouring salt on Jerry's wound.
Lane bets 20,000.
Jerry quickly throws it away, Mike.
And Lane shows him the 10-3.
Jerry has a decision to make. He's a little timid. He's going to check it, and Lane's taking advantage of it.
Look at nothing. Lane is betting out here with a 3 and a 5. Heath has bet 80,000 on a stone bluff. Oh my goodness. Now Jerry has 2 10s.
He's going to toss it.
And he throws them away. Uh-oh, look at the look on Jerry's face now.
He shows the bluff.
He put the dagger right in Jerry's heart right there. That was a huge turning point.
Could the Los Angeles Lakers owner capture one more victory, this time his own?
Who would have believed that Jerry Buss could hang in there this long, play this brilliantly? Now it's going to be on Lane Flack first. And look at this. Lane Flack has picked up ace, queen of spade. He's going to raise it.
He's made it 16,000 to go, and Jerry's going all in right here.
Well, here goes Jerry. He has an ace 10 of diamonds.
And Lane beat him in the pot.
2 huge hands. This is going to be it, Mike.
He's finally done what I want him to do, Vince, all day. He moved in and he's ran into a bigger hand. Oh, no.
You're right. He's going all in. Jerry's going to need a 10 for sure.
Or diamond draw or make some kind of straight. He's going to have help to win this pot. Otherwise, Lane Flack will be the champion of the World Poker Tour Invitational Tournament.
Oh, man, this is a rough one. If he should lose, Jerry Buss going with a super hand, but Lane has the ace-queen in front of him.
Come on, diamonds.
You never know. This is hold'em poker.
Anything can happen. You're right about that. Let's see the flop.
It's not going to help Jerry so far.
Well, the flop is deuce, deuce, 5. Now, what this means is Jerry's going to have a 10 to win the pot. He can tie it with a 5.
But a 3's not going to help him also.
Well, if a 3, 4, or a 5 comes up, it will be a tie and a split pot.
Here it is. It's over.
9 comes off.
It's over. Lane Flack has won this.
At least they got the.
Well, he picks up 40,000 for second place. Lane gets the $100,000 and the $25,000 seat into the World Poker Tour Championship Final at Bellagio at the end of the season. What a great tournament by Lane Flack.
Later, which top pros are lurking in the shadows ready to spoil everything at the World Poker Tour Championship? And next, shiver me timbers, it's treasure on the high seas. Who will end up rich and who will meet their end in Davy Jones' locker?
When the World Poker Tour set sail from Cape Canaveral and headed toward the Bahamas, the poker players aboard were in for a week to remember.
Could lightning strike twice for one player on the cruise, or would he get washed overboard?
It was high stakes on the high seas as the Party Poker crews pitted 4 online qualifiers against 2 of poker's best. There was the law student, a regular guy from Ohio, a grandmother of 5, a wrangler, and a Vegas pro, all trying to take it away from this WPT champion. 21-year-old law student Dan Coupel hit some rough seas right out of port.
Dan Coupel, remember, has 2 jacks. He is the best hand right now. And Dan raises it to 16,000, and Chip calls.
Well, he's got that overpair. Dan has him in a good position here.
Let's see the turn card.
Okay, now look at this.
Another 6 comes off. Whoa, this is a home run here for Chip Jet.
And he's checking it. Dan's going to bet it. He's betting 16,000 right now. Chip Jet has 3 of a kind.
And he's raising.
Of course he is.
He's putting 32,000 out there.
Ooh.
Well, you can see right now, Vince, that Dan Coupel, by trying to trap and slow play his hand, has put himself in the trap here.
They came back to stab him here, but you never know. He could catch it on 5th Street. He's got a decision to make.
And he folds his hand. What a lay down there by Dan Coupel. Well, I think he's laying it down because he's aggravated. He didn't raise the pot to start with. Had he done so, he would have won the pot immediately.
Then Dan went up against Foxwoods champion Howard Lederer.
And Dan is in big trouble now. He's going to have to catch a 7 or a 5. He's going to be our 6th place finisher. It doesn't look good for Dan Coupel right now.
It's a 9. Nobody has a flush draw. One more card.
Here we go. Can he survive? No!
He doesn't do it. Dan Coupel is gone.
Joe Cowboy Simpkins would be the last onliner left to swim with the Sharks.
Oh, bingo for Cowboy. Queen Jack 9. The Cowboy has hit the nut straight.
Oh, man, Star Spangled Banner going off in his head.
Come on in, boys. The water's fine.
And they are.
Oh, the Cowboys got to love this.
4th Street.
Now the ace comes off. Doesn't hurt Cowboy. He's still got the very best hand possible. A 4 comes off. The Cowboy is going to love this. He has tripled up. You can't do any better than that in a 3-handed game. The last of the online players is off the respirator and back in the match.
The Cowboy certainly proved he could hold his own with the pros, but will he triumph?
We have a 3-way pot with the Cowboy all in here. He's going to try to go out quacking with the 2 ducks. Let's see what happens.
Well, it's 3-way action. He could win a nice pot if he should happen to win this. Let's see if the Cowboy can get lucky.
It's ace 9-5.
So far, so good for the Cowboy. He's in front. They're going to check it. Here we go, 4th Street.
Chip Jet has a nut flush draw and just made the nut flush.
He just caught it. It's going to be all over for the Cowboy.
Yep. Chip bets. Howard folds. And here it goes. Home on the range for the Cowboy now.
He taps the table. What a gentleman.
Howard Lederer and Chip Jet would be left to fight it out for the final lifeboat, and Chip wasn't ready to hand over the oars just yet.
This 4th Street's going to help Howard a little bit. He's got aces and 4s.
The board pairs 4s. Howard bets 30,000. Chip calls him. Whoa, and now a king comes at the river. What a card here for Chip Jet.
Oh.
Howard checks. Chip bets 30,000 and Howard calls him.
Oh, look at Howard smiling. Good hand. He knows he's been outdrawn big time there.
Look at that.
That is a huge turnaround. Big card for Chip.
Who would sail off into the sunset and who would be left to tread water?
Ooh, flop is King 10-3. This gives Chip Jet the top pair and Howard Lederer is flop 2 pair.
Oh, this could be a potential disaster. Chip is betting it.
He is check raised here.
Yes, he has.
And Howard calls him. Now Howard has 2 pair. I don't think there's any way Chip's going to be able to get away from this hand. Well, the 7 of clubs comes off. Here comes Chip Jet. He's betting.
He's betting. He thinks he probably is in front right now.
And Howard is raising it to 60,000.
Sure, why not? He's got 2 pair. He's got him where he wants him. Can it hold up?
And Chip calls him.
This is a potential disaster for Chip. He's going to need a miracle on this last card.
He doesn't get it. The queen of clubs comes off. Now that puts 4 clubs on the board. Chip checks. Howard bets. He does not check. He's going to try to bust him right here, and he's going to do so.
This thing is over.
Howard Lederer turns up 2 pair and wins this pot. He has become a 2-time World Poker Tour champion, Vince. So what do you get when you lose to one of the greatest players on the circuit? I'll tell you what you get. You get an education, a pretty good amount of money, and you get that guaranteed entry into the World Poker Tour Championship. All in all, not a bad deal.
Later, he was this close to a championship. Now he's obsessed with redemption. Is it in the cards? And next, how do the WPT's top 2 champions stack up head-to-head?
It's an extraordinary feat to win any World Poker Tour event. But to win 2 in a single season is the stuff that legends are made of. And Vince, we had 2 players do it.
No, that's truly amazing. On one hand, you got Gus Hansen, who is very loose, very aggressive, lives on the edge. Possible underlying psychotic tendencies, who knows? But on the other hand, you got Howard Lederer, who is very cool, he's very scientific. I mean, he is truly the professor.
So how will these two champions match up? Here's our World Poker Tour scouting report.
I'm young, I'm just myself, so I'll keep on going for a little while.
Gus Hansen is famous for his black t-shirt and shaved head, and he knows where he belongs in the grand scheme of life.
If you ask me, you have 3 different groups of mankind. There's women, there's men, and then there's gamblers.
And he goes all in. He has limped in and then come over the top for all his money, and now Ron's got to figure out what is going on here.
Howard Lederer has the serious manner of an Ivy League scholar and studies every aspect of the game.
It's very hard to ignore, success or failure in this profession that we've chosen. I try and really take things one hand at a time.
I'm all in.
He goes all in.
Gus is wild, unpredictable. He'll go over the top, anywhere, at any time. No pot is ever safe from him. For Gus, poker means personal freedom.
I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't have to get up at 8 in the morning if I prefer to get up at 11, which is nice.
But you have to get up pretty early in the morning to fool Howard. He's not just playing his hand, he's playing his opponent's hand and using psychology as well.
Ron's afraid that he has 2 aces or 2 kings.
It's 2 people and it's your mind, and you're just battling it out, and you're trying to kill the other person, certainly in metaphorical sense. You're trying to capture all their chips, and it's just a very pure form of competition.
It's brains versus brawn, and any showdown between these two could come down to the turn of a card.
These are 2 sensational poker players. But Vince, as you pointed out, they do have different styles.
Sure.
Gus Hansen is a very aggressive, relentless warrior who seemingly plays every pot, whereas Howard is a more calculating, methodical type player who displays a lot more patience. Now, Vince, which of these styles do you prefer?
What do I prefer? Well, they're both poker geniuses, let's face facts. But Gus Hansen is more fun to watch. He is like a train wreck waiting to happen at the poker room. It's incredible. But he's a winner. On the other hand, you got Howard, who's cool, scientific, the professor at work. It's like he has a plan. Both brilliant players.
Well, in poker, for every action, there's an opposite reaction. And for every macho move, there could be a big bust. And here comes Antonio. Antonio has 2 7s in this pot, and he's going to play with him. Antonio calls. This is 2 7s against the Jack 10 offsuit. The 2 7s are a very slight favorite to win this pot. I think Chris did the right thing by moving in there, and I think Antonio did the right thing by calling.
So Antonio's a little bit of favorite. Here we go. He's still in front with the pair of 7s.
Chris is going to need a Jack or a 10. And he spikes a 10. Chris Bigler has caught a 10 on the turn. Now Antonio is going to have a 2-outer. He does not get it. Chris Bigler has doubled up with a Jack 10. He got lucky on 4th Street there to outdraw Antonio.
Next, there's a gold rush in Reno, and a man gets one last chance at redemption. Will it pan out?
Is he bluffing? I think he's trying to bluff me here. I bet that ace hit. What is he thinking? What is he trying? When the ace came off on 4th Street, he played with his chips. 13 to 1, 12 to 1, 16 to 4 to 1, 8 to 2. Makes my 2 pair good. Unless I'm drawing dead. I like my chances. I'm all in. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
He says, I'm all in.
All in for the man with ace-queen.
I call. He points, I call. He looks down at 2 10s.
He quickly calls with his 10s. He loves his 10s.
We have the race situation. This is ace-queen versus 2 10s. The 10s are just a slight favorite to win. It's a virtual coin flip. Let's see if Stan Goldstein can get lucky and stay alive in this tournament.
Now on the flop, the 10s are still holding up. They're way out in front. Stan Goldstein has a problem here. He needs a miracle card.
He's got to catch an ace or a queen or he's out. Oh! He's done it. Look at this. Oh, the pain of Mark Safe. Look at that. After our Caribbean cruise, the World Poker Tour came back on dry land and headed west. With rumors of a new gold rush, we put down stakes in Reno, Nevada, where one repeat finalist was dreaming of redemption.
In Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world, the name of the game was All In as everyone went over the top looking to make the big score. Ron Rose, who came in last at Foxwoods, definitely had Lady Luck in his corner this time.
Our biggest pot of the day, Vince. Ron Rose is all in. He has gotten out-flopped by X22, who flopped 3 9s, but Ron Rose is not dead. He's got an open-end straight draw. Let's see what happens.
Lots of outs. Here comes the turn.
An ace comes off. Now, this also gives Ron Rose a heart draw, so he does have a lot of outs in this pot. A heart, a queen, a 10, or a 7 will win this pot for Ron Rose. But right now, Paul McGrill is out front with the 3 9s.
Last card coming up.
A 7 has come off.
Unbelievable.
Ron knows he made the straight. He has won this pot. Paul McGrill is shell-shocked here, Vince.
Look at that look of disgust.
Would Paul be able to turn disgust into victory?
Quack, quack.
We have seen X22, Paul McGrill, go all in with a pair of 4s, but called down by Ron Rose with ace-queen. We're going to see a flop.
Well, so far, everything's gone Ron's way. See if we can get lucky again yet.
Oh, Ron hit a big card. He's got his pair of queens so far.
He shoots his arm up. He knows he's a big favorite now. X22 is going to have to catch a 4, Vince, or he's going to be gone.
Well, it didn't happen on 4th Street. He's got one more shot to catch a miracle. Can he do it? No.
X22 goes out in 4th position.
And the cards just kept coming his way.
Ron Rose has got a pair of jacks in his hand. Look at him waiting.
What is he going to do? He goes all in.
Yes, he is. He's doing the right thing. All in.
Now folds.
Tony's going to quickly call. We're going to see a showdown.
This is King Queen versus 2 jacks.
Both players are up on their feet.
Well, it's a race situation we have here. The 2 jacks are a slight favorite against the King Queen.
Tony needs some help here.
And here comes the flop.
Boom. And he hits it. Oh, the queen for Tony Lee right here.
That is beautiful. The crowd's going crazy for him.
Yes, it is. He has out-flopped Ron Rose
it's not
right
over.
here.
Here comes 4th Street.
Now a 10 comes off. Now Ron Rose is going to have to catch an 8 or a king. A jack won't do him any good anymore because that'll give Tony a straight.
Tony would love to double up here. This would be great. Let's see it.
8, 9, 10 jack.
Oh
no.
An 8 comes off. Ultimate heartbreak for Tony Lee on the river right there. Ron Rose has made a straight at the river to win this pot and knock Tony Lee out of this tournament.
In the heads up, the all-in king took on the quiet dentist, Cal Dykes.
Here we go, heads up. They've been playing for 3 days. A lot at stake here. Last shot for Bellagio. Let's see the cards. Ron Rose has got a king-queen this time, Mike.
Yes, he does. He's just calling with his king-queen. I don't like this play.
Now the dentist, Cal Dykes, has 4 or 5 of hearts.
Well, I wouldn't give the dentist a free flop here like he's doing. Let's see what happens.
We're going to see the flop.
And look at this. Cal flopped a pair of 4s and moves in.
He has. He's got the little pair of 4s. He likes it. He's got to play this kind of way.
I like this play by Cal right here. And now he's put Ron Rose to the test.
Well, he just loved to push Ron right out of this.
Well, now Ron Rose has a king-queen. Now what he's thinking is, you know, how big of an underdog is he if this guy's got a pair? Might Cal have a 3 and a 5 or a 5 and a 6 where he's just got a straight draw? Is the king-queen good? Is the guy bluffing at him?
Yeah, but this dentist doesn't play 3-5. He's got to respect him. Ron Rose doesn't have to take a shot here, doesn't have to call. He can wait another day.
Well, he's thinking about gambling here where you just take the guy out of the tournament. It is a critical decision for him here. Do you want to double a guy up, give him confidence at this stage? You've got the chips you can afford to call him. The question is, do you want to gamble here?
Ron's poker instinct has been correct all day.
Well, certainly every decision he's made today has been right. He's going for it, Vince.
He is.
Ron Rose is going for it. He has a king-queen.
Well, he's going to be a pretty big underdog, about 3-1, Mike.
Yes, he is. He's about a 75% underdog to win this pot, Vince.
Now, Cal would love to double up here.
This is a great chance for Cal to... Whoa, there it is.
That's a huge card. He's caught a big pair.
He's outdrawn him on 4th Street. It's not over, though. Cal can catch a 4 or a 5.
Here it comes, Mike. He doesn't do it. It's over.
Ron Rose is our tournament leader.
All right, we have all 12 champions locked into the World Poker Tour Championship. But a $25,000 seat does not guarantee a victory, of course.
Well, you're right, Vince. And to win this tournament, they're going to have to fight their way through the toughest field of poker players ever assembled.
He learned poker on the streets of Saigon, and Scotty Wynn would love to take home the championship. Poker brat Phil Hellmuth, always a threat, will bring his smash mouth style to the Bellagio. Jennifer Harmon, charming, attractive, and ruthless. She'll turn heads and steal the pots while her opponents aren't looking. Of course, the Kamikaze Kid is always trouble. Math whiz Chris Ferguson adds up to be a contender. Few players can master Men the Master. Old Master Doyle Brunson and young stud Phil Ivey are always competitive. Quiet, unassuming, and dangerous, Eric Seidel rounds out the field of players to watch and watch out for.
So the big tournament coming up. Let's talk about predictions. Mike, who do you like?
Well, Vance, because these players are starting out with 50,000 in chips,
right,
I like the guys who aren't afraid to play pots.
Really?
That includes guys like Phil Ivey, Phil Hellmuth, and Lane Flack.
So you don't like just one guy. You have a whole stable of guys you like.
I picked three.
All right. I'm going to take the guy that you also picked, Lane Flack. Lane Flack, the Flack is back. He's a wild player. He's crazy. I think Lane will win it.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for joining us for this special edition on the World Poker Tour. And Vince, it really has been quite a year.
Listen, it's been a pleasure working with you, traveling with you. And on a more personal note, it has been a real treat losing money in 3 different continents. But I will get it back next year.
Well, Vince, the pleasure has been all mine. And folks, we appreciate you watching the World Poker Tour. Be sure to tune in for the upcoming World Poker Tour Championship event at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll see you there.
So long.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has been. I'll pay you back in a couple of years, okay? I have a few banking problems, but it'll be okay.